Wallace. And I see a whole army of my countrymen here in defiance of tyranny. You've come to fight as free men. And free men you are. What will you do without freedom? Will you fight? Fight against that? No! We will run! And we will live. Aye. Fight and you may die. Run and you'll live. At least a while. And dying in your beds many years from now, would you be willing to trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Suddenly I feel you holding me. 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 Sweep me away. Sweep me away. Sweep me away. Sweep me away. Suddenly I feel your hand in mine. 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 Oh Jesus, sweep me away.
I'm Dylan Harvey from San Diego,
Right on.
and out here to relax and find myself.
My name is Mark Goodwin.
From North San Diego County, and I'm here to be with my son and my son-in-law, and you and your dad and Kevin, and I'm here to live.
Right on.
That's it.
All right, Josh.
My name is Joshua Emerson. I'm also from San Diego, and I'm here to see beautiful Alaska, learn to fly fish, and share some good times.
Good deal.
The old man.
And the old man, that's right. Kevin?
Kevin Beasley from Auburn, Alabama, and I'm here to get a little R&R from a really tough year last year. Kind of get my head screwed on straight again.
Right on.
I guess what I want guys to come out here and get is the kind of like what Mark said earlier was you don't see God this tight. You don't see this God on the interstate. You know, you don't hear about this God in church. And if you do hear about Him, you've never experienced it. And He's the vast God and the dangerous God, and He makes dangerous animals and dangerous winds and dangerous waters. And if you die and go to the bottom of that 300-foot lake, the world's going to keep going, and He's going to continue to advance His kingdom. So you really feel small here, and I always do, and that's kind of what I just wanted. I want guys to come out here and feel. I want them to feel that, you know, you're really a grain of sand on the seashore. I mean, you're this right here, and you're gone the next day. And when you understand that and start to realize how really minuscule you are, even in your own little kingdom, and you realize how small your little kingdom is, your praise and your I guess your worship for God, you can't help. I mean, you either have to turn away from it and say there is no God and this all evolved over millions of years, or you have to turn to Him and worship Him. There's two options, or you can just ignore it and act like it never happened.
My hands, I lift my heart. I'm letting go, falling into you. Whoa, I lift my hands, I lift my heart. I surrender. I'm letting go, falling into you. I surrender. You are the maker of all things, the giver of all I'll ever need. And I'm so
Saw a black bear today. That was cool. Really awesome. Saw some little duck things running across the water on the top of the water. Looking forward to getting out to the lake, catching a bunch of fish. Pretty cool.
Watching our sons out there doing some fly fishing. Clean, beautiful Alaska. I think it's an absolutely spiritual, beautiful thing. I'm glad to have the opportunity.
Mold and make me with your fire, and consume me with your love until your will is my desire. All that I have and hold on to, surrender. All that I am, I give to you. I give to you.
Fishing for red salmon on the Keys River. We got 5 guys out here this year, and 2008. We're smoking 'em. We got one being landed in the boat over there. Man, good job. So, we're having a good time.
Survive on the bare minimum in the woods. I learned to enjoy peace, nature, God's creation.
Learned humility,
Learn to fly fish.
just being in nature like this. Learning how, well, not to survive, but to enjoy it. Well, I guess I didn't learn it, but I experienced the value of community and how each individual has something to offer. And just seeing everyone shine in their own way.
Pretty amazing because it's a lot more than I expected. I tried to come here with no expectations, but it exceeded even that because the overbearing nature is just incredible. I mean, I didn't expect it to be so out here and so rugged, so natural, so beautiful. You're out there, you know, like nowhere else on the globe in my years since I've been on the planet have I been so far out there, away from everything. Well, I learned that I'm really a small speck on this planet, and it's just the nature around you. It's just puts you in perspective. I mean, it's hard to say in words, but you know, you're always kind of looking over your shoulder for bears or something. It just makes you feel really small, and it humbles you, is what it does. So when I go back, things are going to look really good, especially with my family, because, you know, you never know what's going to happen out here. And I think that's the biggest thing. You are absolutely not in control. Absolutely not in control. I think humility is a big humbling experience. And then we were laying out here on the beach, or on the shore of the lake, and I was just laying there. I looked up and I saw the initials JC in the sky. And there was a lot of God moments out here. I think that's what I'm going to take back. A lot of God moments. To just say thank you, God, praise you, God, because it was
just I had a really tough year last year, and a lot of rough things happened in my life, and it just was overwhelming. I just felt out of control and overwhelmed by it all, and just needed to get away from all of that for a while and escape to a place where it couldn't follow me. And I thought this was as good a place as any. So nothing follows you here, which is really cool. And partially because I love Peter, and I think God has ministered to me spoken to me through Peter, and just to spend this time with him was really important for me too. So it seems cliche, but really just has encouraged me to simplify my life, you know, and really rid my life of those things that are unnecessary that just suck life out of you. And like this whole week has been so life-giving, but there's really nothing here. I mean, there's some dehydrated food and some fish to catch and eat, and a really hard place to sleep that's painful, but yet, you know, without all of the comforts of life, it's still just very life-giving, you know, just filled me up with life. And so I really want to try to simplify my life when I return. If you're thinking about doing this next year and it seems like there's too many obstacles, maybe you don't have the money, or you don't have the time, or you can't get away, or, you know, we have a 7-month baby at home, 7-month-old baby at home, I would say just do it. Like, you know, just find ways to overcome those obstacles and go after it. And it really has nothing to do with the leadership or anything. Like, it's all about removing yourself completely, from isolating yourself from your life, and placing yourself in a place where you will hear God. Like, there's nothing else to hear. you know, if you're listening, you can't hear anything but
probably not that I expected,
God
but it's
stirring.
something you don't think about. Even if you have experience of being in Alaska as a tourist, if you've been on a cruise boat or you've been to Alaska before, coming to Kijik Lake is the middle of heaven on earth to some extent, but it's also in a very wild, untamed place, and it can be very scary at times. The second day that we were on this hike, going to our base camp, it was grueling for me. It was 800 feet straight up, and through muskeg and swamp, and my legs weren't prepared for that, and they cramped up, and it was difficult. But I had people around me that helped me through it, carried my pack, and helped me to the bottom of the hill, helped me back to the camp. It's a soul-stirring experience to some extent. You just you focus on maybe more spiritual things. You focus less on what your body wants or less on what your mind's wants to think about, and you ponder things you never pondered before. There's probably a gazillion things I'll think about differently, and think about what I learned here, or think about what you guys have said to me in a lot of different situations. But I guess the awesomeness and the vastness of God is something that you don't think about when you're going down the interstate. And it's all you can think about here. So I'll take that back.
I just want to bring guys out here. That's the whole purpose, to bring them out here and let them experience God, on a scale that they'd never have before. Because it changed my life, and I've seen it change a lot of other guys' lives. If you are running the rat race and your God is small, then come here and he'll be big again. And if you've never experienced community with men and had to depend on them in a way that you help them over logs and through rivers, and you really need each other, you've never experienced that and you want that, then come here. If you're about to divorce your wife because life is boring, then come here. If life sucks, come here. If life is just meaningless, come here. And God he'll stir you with his creation. We belong here. We've lost that in a lot of ways, being in the city, which is a good thing. The city is a good thing, but we have to come back here, I believe, to really connect. And not here specifically, but just we have to come back to being out of control. And if you feel that you're in control, then come here. And if you feel that you can whoop Alaska, then come here, because it'll whoop you.
Good luck.
So a lot of guys come. I would say 95% of the people that come here think, they've got all the gear. You've got the Gore-Tex, you've got the Sims waders, you've got it all, and you're just one big poser, thinking that you're going to come up here and have a good time. And God just has a way of breaking you here, and there's no way out. We're 250 miles from Anchorage by air, and there's no way out. We have a satellite phone, and that might work, and they might come get us if the weather is okay. So if if that scares you, it should, because God's pretty crazy and dangerous. So but don't let that prevent you from coming.
It does.
And also, if you decide to come, Satan's going to be all over you, and you're going to have a lot of excuses. But don't tell me any of them, because I just walked the hellacious road to get here this year, and so has a lot of these other guys. So that's not an excuse. So man up and come.
I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine